green flag has come out. Chris Louviere on the pole for the championship round of the Division II Series for 2015. Chris Louviere sitting 6th in the points. Got the pole, leads into turn number 1. But won't hold the lead for very long. We're 4 wide. This is going to be one hell of a race. Bobby Jones takes the lead in the 96 for the moment. Here comes Jeff James. Jacob Hart sliding into, I believe, Ace Rogers. Leading the first lap, Jeff James. And what should be a very exciting Auto Club race with several drivers in contention for the championship. This is the mess behind. A huge gaggle of cars, pretty much half the field, all stuck together. These cars are very draft reliant, which allows for some very intense oval pack racing. We're 4 wide still as Tross gets hit by Vargas, almost just got into travel. Jeanne Sandfer making her way up to the lead. She's currently the points leader. Travel currently second in the points, and he's in trouble. Joshua Michaels trying to move up there. Vargas as well. This is a double points race, so a lot of positions really matter. Louviere leads. If you get all the bonus points in a weekend, which is the pole and most laps led, you get a total of 20 points. When it's a double points event, usually it'd be 10, but now it's double. So right now, Louviere, he can get an extra 20 bonus points, which should be very beneficial to him. It'll make the gap he has behind Jeanne Sandfer a little bit smaller, but here comes Jeff James on the bottom. Jeff James is still gone winless this year, despite coming close on a couple of occasions. I think at this point, his main goal is to help Jeanne Sandfer, make sure that nobody gets too far ahead of her. And here comes the 5. He will clear the 99 to the lead. We were riding on board with Dunn LaPrade there, and that was absolutely insane. Looks like Travel and Vargas made several instances of contact as Dunn LaPrade trying to push his way forward. LaPrade's still winless this year. That team has not had the race-winning speed that a couple of these other guys had this year, and LaPrade's putting on a good show. He's actually got a lot of top 10s this year, in all fairness. It's just lack of top 5s has been a bit of a problem for him. Coming up to pit stop soon. Louviere still leads, trying to get those bonus points. Henry Sandfer has moved his way up to second. All the S3 cars are in the top 7. Or top 6, rather. Currently at the stage right now, Michaels has got to stay in front of Jeanne Sandfer by a couple more positions than that to take the title. Louviere is going to need Sandfer and Michaels to fall a little bit farther back than that. While the gap isn't very large from 1st to 6th, you don't know if you'll be able to lead the most laps. You still got a lot of time. But here comes Bobby Jones. Actually, no, that's not Bobby Jones. That's Alex Morgan. Where did he come from? Alex Morgan out of nowhere charging his way up to the front. We saw Bobby Jones up there earlier, but Alex Morgan putting on a pretty good show right now. Bobby Jones is in some major trouble right now. He's in the way back of the pack. Along with Vargas, these two, they're in the top 5 in points. I'm not sure if they're taking it easy for now and are going to make a charge later, but they are way out of the championship at the moment. Travel and Louviere and Jeff James will dive down pit road, and Jeff James makes a pass on pit road to kick off green flag pit stops. Here comes the rest of the field. They're going to dive down pit road to make their stop. This is a 2-stop race. Jeff James has ended up in front of Louviere, as we're going to see who comes out the leader. Joshua Michaels right behind Henry Sandfer. Sandfer merges back up to track. Jeff James takes the lead here. Looks like he will get the lead for the moment, as Sandfer and Michaels are going to need to pick up the pace to catch him. They don't want him to get too much of a gap. Michaels battling Henry Sandfer for second. If the championship ended right now, Michaels would be the champion. He's far enough ahead of Jeanne Sandfer and Josh Travel. But right now, he needs to keep that position, because that 25, it's coming. That 25 is always a very fast race car on these ovals. And don't forget about Chris Louviere as well. You know, he's going to be making a run at the championship here. He's still got a good chance. And whoa, Louviere shoving the 8 car beneath the 07. He knows what he's got to do. Work with everybody but the championship competitors. You got to hand it to Chris Louviere in terms of qualifying this year. What an absolutely magnificent job this team has done throughout the whole year. They have scored 7 poles in 14 total rounds, so they basically got a pole in half the races, which is amazing. And it's probably the reason why this team has even made it to the championship, is the bonus points. That's about 35 points that Louviere accumulated by getting the pole. Had he not done that, he'd be way out of his championship. And that's not surprising when you look at the stats either. 6 top 10s, 6 top 5s. Very inconsistent year for the 99 team besides the qualifying efforts. Sophia Vargas is behind Jacob Hart. This is for 10th. That 60 car knows she's got to get up there quick as possible. This is a very draft-reliant track. If she loses touch with all the people in front of her, her championship hopes are going to be diminished. She was the points leader a couple of rounds ago, but the end of the season's been kind of rough for the 60 team, as she looks to try and get past Jacob Hart, who's excellent on these ovals as well. Josh Travel, second in points, having some major trouble right now trying to keep up. That car is just not very fast. Bobby Jones also in a heap of trouble as well. Second and fifth in the points together, outside the top 10. They're going to need to pick up the pace. We're coming up on final pit stop shortly. And after those pit stops, there's not going to be much racing left to do. Meanwhile, Jeff James keeps on clicking off very good laps, as Louviere and Michaels battle for the championship behind him. The 5 cars pulling away. Louviere is in a hurry. He knows he's got to get to Jeff James before the end of this race. He's got to try and lead the most laps, and Jeff James is currently clicking off almost the most. He doesn't really have much to concern about. He's got nothing to lose. He doesn't know if he's going to be back next season. So might as well try and get the win when he can. Ace Rogers is making it very tough on Jeanne Sandfer to go by the points lead. Well, the points leader's having some trouble with Ace Rogers, who is holding her off. I can imagine this is for Joshua Michaels' sake. Rogers knows that his teammate can win the championship, so he's doing everything he can to help ensure that happens. And it's not like he's slower than Sandfer. He's holding her off well enough, and Sandfer doesn't seem to be getting too frustrated. Never mind, she just got to the quarter panel. But Michael's in a good position right now to win this championship. Here comes Louviere making a big dive into the 5, makes contact, tries to get him loose. Louviere side by side with the leader. This 99, he can't let the 5 car lead any more laps. He has to get by him. This is desperation at this point. Jeff James surrenders the lead. Maybe. Here comes Alex Morgan and the 95 pushing on the bottom for Maximum Overdrive Motorsports. By the way, abbreviation, if you abbreviate that, it says Mom. But Louviere getting pushed by the Englishman. Louviere, I think, led that lap, so now if he can just lead a couple more, we're about to hit pit stops here. Coming down pit road, Louviere comes down pit road. This will be the final pit stop for everybody, the most important pit stop of the whole year for the Division 2 championship. The rest of the leaders come down pit road. Michaels along with Alex Morgan. Michaels needs a great pit stop here, and he's got to hope Ace Rogers gets a better one than Sandfer does. Alex Morgan looks like he's going to take the lead after the final round of pit stops. Jeff James still on the move towards her. I mean him, but Alex Morgan with a fantastic pit stop that's going to put the 95 in the lead. And the field just got spread apart bad. Morgan in the lead. Louviere falls down to third. If Michaels, Sandfer, if both of them, along with Travel, stay behind the 99 far enough, Louviere might have the best shot for this championship. Sophia Vargas trying to come back as best she can. She's worked her way back up to the second main pack, but Ace Rogers giving her trouble. Vargas has got to get by both Sandfer and Michaels and then probably gain a couple more positions to have a chance. But she's doing the best as this car is possibly letting her. That car has just not been handling very well the whole entire day. Jeanne Sandfer stuck behind this gaggle of cars. The 1 car on flip sides and the 8 car of Henry Sandfer. That's her teammate even. That's kind of messing up the points right now for her. And here comes the 25 trying to dive in the inside. Michael sits up in front. He currently has the 4th place position. All these guys are trying to work up to the leaders. Sandfer trying to work past everybody. She cannot let these guys get too far in front of her. With just a couple of laps to go, Jeanne Sandfer is basically relying on Jeff James to hold Louviere off while she passes a couple of others. I honestly think Jeff James is Sandfer's biggest helper right now. Sandfer does have the points lead, but if Louviere passes, he might take it back for a moment. Vargas is still trying to keep up. Bobby Jones, I think, is safely out of it. Travel has not really made any appearance up in the top 10 at all today, so I think he's safely out of the title. They are catching Alex Morgan, even side by side with each other. Jeff James trying to hold the 99 off. This is absolutely bizarre. This is just bonkers right now. And don't forget, Sandfer's busy dealing with Michaels, Ace Rogers, and a couple of other cars as well. So right now, Louviere is in the catbird seat. If he can just get this position and hope that Sandfer just loses a few more positions. With just a few laps to go. Less than 5. They have really caught Alex Morgan with 2 laps to go. Alex Morgan looking for his first ever Division II victory, and Jeff James and Louviere look to spoil it. Louviere goes up with Morgan, trying to work with him. We're coming to the white flag for the championship. This is for the lead. This is for the win, possibly for the championship as well. These top 2 have no chance of winning the title. It's just Louviere. Jeanne Sandfer sits comfortably behind in 4th. But she is dealing with MBR cars who are currently working against her. Louviere coming half a lap to go. I think Morgan's going to hold them off for the moment. Louviere wants second place if he can just hold it. He might get it. Jeff James drags her to the line. Alex Morgan takes the victory. And Louviere finishes in front of Jeff James to get some points. Oh boy, both of the MBR cars got by Sandfer on that final lap. You gotta imagine what that did. Michaels, I don't think, did enough to win the championship in all honesty. He only finished 2 positions ahead of Sandfer. He needed at least about 2 or 3 more. Ace Rogers benefited very much for MBR's championship here. But now the question is, who is the champion? It's not Vargas. It's not Vargas. It's not Travel. It's not Jones. It's either Sandfer, Michaels, or Louviere who has won the title. And it looks like we are going to find out shortly. It has just been confirmed by about a couple of points. Chris Louviere has managed to pull it off and has won the 2015 DuPont Automotive Racing Division 2 Championship. 7 poles, 7 top 10s, 7 top 5s. And the 99 Red Bull team have won the championship after such an inconsistent year. Louviere's bonus points. He led the most laps and got the pole, and that's what won him the championship. Thank you everybody for watching. This has been the Division 2 series, and we will be back next year. See y'all then.